Today, it's story time. I never learned how to read. Now, before we begin, this is not clickbait. This is not just a fancy title which leads into a Reddit video. I'm looking at you, the sidemen.
Stop it.
This is a true story of how I was courted to join EXO in 2019 and why I didn't. Now, before we start, this video isn't intended to throw anyone under the bus or be like, oh, look at me, I'm bigger than... No, it's just I didn't have the time to do the video idea I wanted to this week, so I thought it might be a good time to reveal this interesting fact of what could have been. I like what could have beens, so here it is. Adam Boltwood, the legendary, even if you're lactose intolerant, Boltwood's legendary. Dairy comes from a cow, apparently. Adam Boltwood, if you don't know, is the mastermind behind many YouTube channels which you may have heard of. Football Daily, where I was at previously. The Football Republic. He worked at #United for a reasonably long time. You also might know him from such EXO videos as How well do True Geordie and Lawrence know Adam Boltwood? Adam Boltwood reacts badly to the Wembley Cup and pushes Cafu in the showers. Boltwood goes to America. Why does no one care about Boltwood? Is Mbappe better than Boltwood? Steven tries laughing gas with Adam Boltwood. Tony Bellew meets Adam Boltwood. Troy Deeney meets Adam Boltwood. EXO go to UFC London to watch Adam Boltwood versus Nate Diaz. Well, Boltwood, back in 2019, was the head of content at a company called Ball Street. Well, Ball Street were the overriding backer in the EXO project. And Boltwood got in touch in like March 2019 to ask for a drink and have a little chat. Not like that. Okay, I have a girlfriend. He didn't try to kiss me, which is a bit rude actually. I was pretty excited when I got the message. I had been at Football Daily for 2 years at that point, and when you edit the same content for 2 years, you just get a bit bored as an editor. You want something a bit different. So one lunch break at Football Daily, I snuck off to meet Adam Boltwood. Yes, I didn't tell anyone. Ooh, espionage? Is that what it means? It's a bit sneaky, but not really espionage. I felt like a fugitive on the run. Oh, I jumped on the tube and I met him for a drink somewhere. Stabbing Football Daily in the back. Well, not really. I wasn't actually sure I wanted to leave at that point, so I just didn't feel like bringing it up because it just felt a bit awkward. So I just went to entertain the idea and have a conversation, and I didn't want to do it outside of work hours because when I go home, I'm home, okay? If I go to work, once I leave work, I'm home. So I met Adam for a drink. He explained that I was going to be a producer on EXO. I would produce shows, I would edit shows, I would come up with ideas for shows, and I would present some shows, potentially eventually having maybe a show for myself. I'd also, one very important factor, I'd be paid more than what I was currently being paid. Also in the job description was 1 day a week I would work with, you won't believe this, Mr. William Lenny. I wonder how he's getting on. Now this may sound great on paper. I'd be working with Lawrence, Will, Steven, the True Geordie, Cam Kirkham. Why would you turn that down, Kieran? Whatever I've done in the history of time since about year 10 is how do I become a YouTuber, and does this help me become a YouTuber and work solely for me? For no one else, just for me. As I've said many times before, and I've been very quiet about it, my end goal in everything forever has been to be self-sufficient on my own and be a YouTuber. Just me making YouTube videos on my own in wherever I want to make them, and then I upload them, and then that's it. That's my job, that's my life. That's what I want. And it turns out working 9 till 5 at a job at the same time as trying to do that, it's pretty bloody hard. Now, I'm not gonna lie, at Football Daily, it wasn't the most stressful, taxing job. There were some days where it were, but 90% of the time, you could probably edit what you were doing in about half a day. That's if you really concentrated and didn't sort of talk to people, but then it left you half a day to talk to people if you just didn't for the first half of the day. I mean, that's how I did it in my head. You're also allowed to just go to the gym in the middle of the day at Football Daily, which is the best thing ever, and every job ever should allow you to do that. But one of the most important factors was the group of friends. Everyone at Football Daily were like the perfect group. I still miss them. I miss them so much that I still live with 3 of them. I also had it really good there in the sense that if I went in a couple of hours early, I could leave that same amount of time early. So I'd go in at like 7 or 8ish, and then I could leave at like 4 or 5, which lets me get home by 5 or 6 o'clock, and then I would record my own video for my channel, and then I could edit it as well. Personally, for me, it was a very stress-free environment, and I had loads of my friends there. The job at XO, in comparison, didn't sound as stress-free. At XO, I was going to have way more responsibility and way more stuff to do. Also, I hate producing. I'm not a producer. I can't stand having to deal with people and schedules apart from my own schedule, because I don't rely on other people because I can't be bothered. I'd rather just rely on myself. Because that's just easier, isn't it? It's just less to worry about. Workload in general just sounded like a lot more work, which I don't feel would have allowed me to go to the gym in the middle of the day, which I really like to do because I like to eat crispy M&M share bags quite frequently, and I can't stop. I like to offset that by going to the gym. And if I can't do that, then I'll just be miserable because I'm still going to eat the chocolate and I'm going to get fat. I was really excited, however, by the 1 day a week that I'd be working with Will, because I was a big fan of his. I really liked Will and E videos, and now I like them even more because I make them. I don't even make loads of them at this point. Milky Boy does loads, please give him credit. He's really good at editing. He's better at editing than me. Shockingly, this YouTube obsessed white boy sometimes gets anxiety. Oh my god, another one. Yep, we're all like that. Football Daily was the first job I've ever had that I didn't have just pure anxiety and that horrible feeling in the stomach before you go somewhere that you don't want to go on the way to work. I never ever had that with Football Daily apart from the interview, but that was just me. You know, you're going to be anxious, aren't you? And that was very, very valuable to me. So when you already have that comfortable feeling at a workplace, it's really hard to break off from that unless it's really, really appealing or the perfect thing. So in the end, I said no. For ages, I was determined on leaving and I wanted to go do bigger stuff. And then I realized that it wasn't right. It sounded great on paper, but when I thought about it deep down and what actually makes me happy, because all I'm really bothered about all day and every day is what makes me happy, which I feel like is what everyone should do. You're not supposed to be happy 24/7 all the time. However, you should be happy quite a lot of the time, I think. I'm constantly searching to be happy, which I am. I'm very happy right now. I love my life. I did, however, use the XO job offer to get myself some more money at Football Daily, so woohoo! Business. Time travel forward a year later, and Big Will and E messages me on New Year's Eve and is like, "What? Why are you bet? Would you like to come and edit for me, like?" And I was like, what on earth did you just say? And once I'd used the Enigma machine to decode Will's messages, I then accepted his proposal and I left Football Daily. And the difference there was that I was going to work the entire time with Will. I was going to be on videos and I knew my channel would just get bigger as a result of that. And I wasn't wrong, because I have nearly 200k now, which you should subscribe to, by the way. But at the beginning of the year, I was on like 25k. So it's a pretty big rise in a year. So I'm really happy about that. But also I'd be working with someone I'd been watching on YouTube for ages, who I really liked, who just seemed like a nice person in general. And it turns out he is actually really a nice person, which sickens me to say. But in all seriousness, Will is a good friend and I love working with him and it's great. But I also had in the back of my head that I wanted to swim in his wake. Oh, he's got 4 million. Let me get a few of them in there. And here we are now, months later. I'm having a whale of a time. Right, I've not been a member of XO. Please subscribe, I'm nearly at 200,000 subscribers. I'm so bloody close, like. And I will see you in the next video, which should be pretty fun. Women. Women in general. I love women. Specifically women, the ones in general, women. I love women. You know who doesn't? Shane Dawson, he likes cats.